the Stop Wearing My Clothes podcast. I'm Amy.
And I'm Kayla. This is episode 23, and it is a relationship advice episode. Our first one since we've been back. Do you think, this is a very serious question, because I ask myself this daily. Are we qualified to give relationship advice? I feel like we've both had very different relationships in our life. Other than, I feel like we've had similar friendships, but just not romantic relationships. So we have a variety of things to pull from.
Yeah, and we're both in successful marriages, so that part I feel like...
That's true.
I got a decent relationship with myself. Doing good on that.
Who goes to the grocery store and buys me different cheeses. That's the life. So if you want to be like me and have a husband that brings you cheese, then listen to our advice. I think that's a solid case. I think that's a solid case.
Yep.
If you're watching on YouTube, I just got out of the shower and I don't give a fuck. So let's do this.
I'm sitting in a freaking cold closet with a blanket because it's so cold.
So, but we do it. We do it for you guys.
Yep.
Okay, so we thought we'd try something this intro. We're going to go into, we actually got real relationship advice questions sent to us. And then we later have our husbands join us for some man advice. We'll see if that catches on. And we're going to do this thing where I'm going to read out some of this week's headlines. And like news headlines. And then Amy's going to try to guess what they... both of us are going to try to guess what they mean because I'm not going to click on it.
Okay,
we'll see if this is good. If not, we'll cut it out.
Okay.
Okay. A man was arrested after allegedly exposing himself to a Delta flight attendant and passengers. Could you imagine? What would you even do? I feel like it really just told us.
Depends on how hot the guy is.
Yeah. Is it a strip show or is it sexual assault? We don't know. All right. Next,
it was like he didn't want to wear a mask, and so he just whipped out his penis.
It could be.
I'm not covering up anything. Not my mouth. Not my genitals.
It could be. No, I saw the weirdest. Was it a TikTok or was it some type of Facebook video? I'm not sure. But it was this girl on an airplane, and she had something in her hand that looked like a baby. You watched it too?
Yeah.
And then I was like, why are they freaking out about her baby? And they're like forcing her to show her baby. So she's like, okay, fine. And then she opens it. And then I think, it's a cat. And I'm like, oh, it's so cute because they are my baby, you know? And so it gets cuter and cuter. And I'm just like, it's her emotional support animal. Like, just let her be. And then I got closer to the cat. And it was a taxidermy cat. It wasn't alive. And she had a taxidermy cat wrapped up in a blanket, pretending it's a baby going on an airplane.
Why?
Unclear.
Because, if it was a living one, that would make sense. Like, she's trying to sneak it in.
Yeah. I think she's very mentally disturbed. Maybe even more than me, which is saying something.
All right, let's hear the next one.
Okay, we'll see if this keeps going. If not, we'll cut it right there. Because some of these are a little... I don't want it to get weird.
Okay.
Oh, did you hear about Gabby Petito's case?
Yeah, that apparently Brian Laundrie admitted to it in his journal.
Mm-hmm. So this one says...
I want to see this journal, though.
I know. This is a timeline of 22-year-old Gabby Petito's case. So sad. But at least there's some type of closure for her family. Like something written down.
I just don't know why I don't believe it. I think there's more to this. Like, why has his parents been weird? The whole thing is still just weird to me.
Yeah, it's weird. Try to think. What would you do if Jack turns out to kill his fiance? Would you try to hide him?
I'm scared of him. He's going to kill me next.
True, he kills his girlfriend. Killing his mom's not too far-fetched.
That's probably why he killed his girlfriend. That's not nice. I don't know his relationship with his mother, but a lot of things stem from that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that's all we're going to get from these headlines. So this is our intro, and we're going to get into some relationship advice next. Are you ready? All right, so we have some questions for you, and this time they are real. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Amy posted on her Instagram that we need some relationship advice questions for this episode. And are they anonymous? Are you going to say who they are? What?
I'm just going to say anonymous.
Okay, that's probably safe. Better safe than sorry. And then later we're going to get the men to give some of their opinions.
Called manvice.
Yep. Whoop, whoop. Hoping that catches on.
Yep. Okay, so the first question that we got is, how do you handle disagreeing with someone?
I'd kill him.
You're dumb. This actually should be a good one because me and you disagree about a lot of things.
We do disagree. I don't know. I feel like a lot of things, for the most part, are surface level, and it's the intention behind what that person's opinions are and just who they are as a person. And that's what I respect more than, I know for sure that, like, there's, things that me and Amy don't, probably everyone, like COVID, the vaccine, like, all this COVID stuff is like, families just aren't agreeing on every little thing. And it's just kind of been really sucky. And so, me and Amy have had discussions where we just don't agree on certain things, but I know that where she's coming from in her heart. So I know that even if I could consider I don't agree with something, I know she's not thinking this or believing this for malicious reasons or, there's no ill intent. I don't know. I kind of got more into it. Is that okay?
No, that's totally fine. I think like realizing that everybody has different backgrounds and different life experience, and that can make them feel completely different about a situation than you might. And that doesn't mean either of you guys are wrong. That's why it's called an opinion. And disagreeing is hard, especially within family, but also even just with friends or acquaintances, if people really are going to go at it. I don't know. But yeah, just listening to understand instead of listening to argue is also good, because even if you don't agree with someone, you can still hear their point of view, and then they feel respect and you feel respect when you're able to say your point of view as well. So I think everybody's going to disagree at some point. No one is going to always agree with every single thing, unless someone's lying, probably. So yeah, I think just making sure. And I read a Brene Brown book that something like really stood out to me. It was it's hard to hate people up close. And so just like kind of like what I said before, just like thinking about all their life experience and the things that they're thinking will make it maybe easier to at least understand the disagreement.
For sure. I know I always talk about Catfish on this podcast, but I just realized there's a whole season that I didn't watch. So I've been going back and watching everything. And, it's a basic premise, like this hopeful trying to meet their potential love. And kind of that person, if they aren't if they're the catfish, they're the bad person. It's very like black and white. But what I love I'm obsessed with Neve, so I love everything about Neve. But about the show Catfish and how Neve handles things, it's just like, I love I almost watched the whole thing just to be able to see the story of the catfish and how they got where they are. And you see very quickly that they aren't these big evil monsters. They're people with feelings that have either been hurt or, just have gone through life. And catfishes have feelings too.
You're looking at one right here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, catfish my husband. Wouldn't suggest it. If you want to know more about that, listen to one of our other episodes.
I know. I try to think we probably should have like a number episode that they could see that in, but I don't know if you DM us. I'll send you the exact link because we don't get any DMs. So I'll be really excited. All right, give me another one.
Okay. How do you implement behavior change in relationships? kind of hard one, isn't it?
That is a hard one. I don't know. A behavior change.
So I'm going to assume that it's kind of like if you are having a continual disagreement, or it's something that is like a boundary being set by one partner, and you're accepting the boundary or whatever, and you need to change the way you're acting. Like, how do you go about doing that? Maybe.
Okay.
I would say habits are hard to break. So just being open and with communication and realizing that you're probably going to do whatever that behavior is again before you stop doing that behavior. So how would you change it?
I don't know. I think you also just have to pick your battles too. Some things you're not going to change.
Okay, well, think about this though. What if you guys get into a constant argument and your partner talks down to you, and that's like really hurts your feelings and you don't like it at all? So you are saying, dude, you got to change. So maybe that person is like, yeah, I want to change, but naturally that's just how I act. So how would they go about doing that? So therapy, maybe.
Yeah, no, that's what I would say. If someone like just treats you that's not going to change. Like, or
people can change. You don't think so?
To talking down to someone, I just could never, like, it wouldn't even get past that date.
Okay, I know, but that was a bad example maybe, but I'm just saying, like, you pick your nose. You pick your nose all the time, and your husband's like, that's disgusting. Stop picking your nose. And you're like...
certain little things like that to keep the allure alive.
Yeah, okay, but how would you change your behavior?
Marcus still hasn't seen me poop. We still have not crossed that threshold.
I've never even heard you say you poop, to be honest. You were so weird about that. Have you ever farted in front of each other? Do you still cough when you fart?
No, I stopped coughing, but we just don't acknowledge.
Oh, me and Jared, like, smell each other's and laugh.
This is so weird.
No, we don't, like, on purpose, but we end up sniffing them. We're like, geez, you're nasty, or whatever.
I know, sometimes I'll smell them and then Marcus doesn't say anything. If that happens, I would be like, Marcus, did you fart? And then he's just gonna be, he, like, does it like, yeah.
Or does he do his little laugh?
Depends how many glasses of wine he's had.
I actually wonder, like, how many couples fart in front of each other and are open about it, and how many pretend that you don't fart.
I want to say it's generational. I think definitely our generation, yes. Our generation before us, maybe not.
I'm going to ask Grandma the next time I see her if her and Grandpa farted in front of each other.
Do it.
Should I call her right now?
Do it.
Okay, I will.
Amy is calling our grandmother.
Can you hear it?
It's ringing.
Hello?
Hi, Grandma. It's Amy and Kayla.
Amy and Kayla?
Yeah, we're on the podcast, but... Oh, she didn't hear you. Hold on. Well, it doesn't matter. It's just me mostly. But we'll cut this out of the podcast if you want, but we just have a question for you. Did you and Grandpa ever fart in front of each other and talk about it?
He'd make a comment like, but I didn't do much hardly. I don't do a lot of it. So.
Oh, okay.
It was more my dad was the big farter guy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he'd lift up his cheek and all that. Grandpa was more, he thought the joke book was funny, and he'd always laugh if anybody talked about it. But he wasn't, what was that? He might say, what was that?
Oh.
Yeah, more like, not saying I did it.
Yeah, because me and Jared fart in front of each other and we laugh or we make comments. But Kayla and Marcus, for a long time, Kayla would cough every time she farted. And then, and now they just are silent about it. If they fart, they just don't talk about it.
Well, sometimes those are deadly. The silent but deadly, that's what we call them.
Okay, we just needed to know from someone that wasn't in our generation. We were just curious.
Okay, well, that's it. Now, if you talk about the Polsons, on that side of my dad lifted his cheek up. He would lift his leg up, and he'd direct it right at you.
Oh my goodness gracious!
That was my dad's generation, and he was, yeah, he thought that was so. And they sounded wet, like he had just messed his pants then. But he thought it was so funny. If you knew, if you could have experienced my grandpa with it would be your great grandpa, but isn't that right?
Yeah, it would be. He was my great grandpa.
Because Nelson was your grandpa.
Yeah.
So no, he was not being kind of crude about stuff like that. He thought it was so funny, and then there's other things too.
Okay.
Maybe next episode.
Things, yeah, the snot and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, love you. Bye.
I love you too. Bye.
We need to,
there you have it, folks.
We need to get her as a regular on this podcast, especially the relationship advice ones. She'd probably do a way better job than us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one.
Right, I don't know how we got there, but that's where we got with that question. We probably apologize because I don't think that was a good answer. Okay. How do you deal with social anxiety? So do you actually have some social anxiety, or how do you feel about that?
I did when I was a teenager. I feel like it stemmed from low confidence, but I don't suffer from low confidence anymore.
If anything, you suffer from high confidence.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it works for social anxiety. You just have to pretend like you know what you're doing in life, and then it just happens to you.
Okay, well, I'm here to celebrate myself today because I conquered social anxiety this week. Woo, woo, woo! So here's my advice for you. You're probably going to feel the anxiety no matter what you do, first of all. But you just have to push through it. And most of the time, in my experience, you feel it before you get into the situation. But once you just go and you're there, like most of the time, it's always better than you think it's going to be.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, because so this week I did two things. I went to a mom group play date at the park, and right before, I know you guys are going to laugh at me actually, right before I went in the bathroom, I was starting to get ready, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. I'm so nervous. Like, what am I going to talk about? Whatever. And I was like, okay, I just have to keep doing one thing after the other. So I got out of bed, went in the bathroom, started doing my thing. And I read the book called The High Five Habit. Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, you are supposed to high five yourself in the mirror every day. And there's but there's actual scientific proof that your brain is naturally wired to associate high fives with like happy celebration feelings. So by doing that, even if you feel stupid when you do it, your brain automatically feels like you're celebrating yourself, and it's like
I think my brain would know that it's not another hand, that it wouldn't be angled correctly. I think my brain would be like, it's trying to trick me.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you what happened.
Okay.
I was looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, I'm just going to do this. And I high-fived myself, and I said, you go, girl. And then I laughed so hard. At myself. And so it worked because then I was in a great mood. And I'm like, that was the funniest thing I've ever done.
I think maybe it's just more of like embarrassing yourself. You could do it in a myriad of ways.
Maybe, I don't know. But I did that. So that's how I am starting to conquer social anxiety. Before you go to whatever your thing is, go look yourself in the mirror and give yourself a high five and say, you go, girl.
Perfect.
Yeah. Besides that, I guess, if you get, this is probably Kayla talking more than me, but like when you get to someone, if it's in a drinking environment, have a drink. You'll probably feel better. You won't have as much anxiety.
Yep. I don't know. As a kid, I had so much anxiety about boys that in middle school, I had a boyfriend for a week. He asked me on MSN Messenger and I said yes. And then I didn't speak to him again for 7 days until he broke up with me over MSN Messenger because I would avoid him at all costs.
Okay, that just reminded me of something. in 6th grade, so you still went to Huntington with me. And we had a social, so like a dance. And Mom decided to be a chaperone.
Oh my God.
And I had my first boyfriend. I think he was my first boyfriend. Like, I don't know, whatever though.
Yes, you were elementary lady on the town.
I was actually. So I don't know, but he was a boyfriend. My first middle school boyfriend.
We both really peaked in elementary school.
Truly. Actually, middle school was wonderful for me too.
Oh gosh.
High school, we both crashed and burned.
Yeah, I crashed and burned about 6th grade.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, anyway.
Wait, I'm so sorry. One more thing. I drove past Huntington last time I was in town, and it's like getting demolished. Is it not a school anymore?
No, they're redoing it.
Oh, but they just don't have anyone who goes to school there.
No, now the people in Huntington are going to school at Catlin. And then the people at Catlin, I think, are going to Lexington.
Oh. Okay, continue your story. I just was...
So let's set the scene. I'm at the social. And I will first say, I was someone who really liked to separate my home life and my school life. I was like, no, my mom's not going to meet my boyfriend. Like, it's a school boyfriend. We don't hang out outside of school. That's just how I was. So I'm at the social. Kayla and a couple of my other friends are like, oh, dance with him. And I was so nervous and so like, because I just felt like everybody was watching me. My mom was there. And so I refused to dance with him. I ran away from him pretty much the entire social because I was so embarrassed that everybody was watching me. It wasn't even that I didn't want to talk to him. I was just so nervous. And then Mom freaking did the Thriller dance in front of everyone. Anyways, the next day in the cafeteria, he came up to me and he said, oh no, actually, I take this back. I broke up with him at the social because I was had so much anxiety. I'm like, I just don't even want to date you anymore because I can't handle all this pressure. And then the next day we met up in the cafeteria and I said, I'm so sorry. Like, will you still be my boyfriend? And he said, no, I don't want my heart to get broken again. And then we never talked again.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
Yep.
You're a heartbreaker.
But then now he's gone to jail. So I think I made a good choice.
No, this girl used to get like teddy bears and bracelets left in our front door.
Yeah, that was in high school, actually.
Oh, okay. You kept on going then. 5th grade was my peak. No, second, I ruled the school.
I realized something, though. I think that a lot of my social anxiety with friends is because I've been rejected so many times by friends.
Sure.
Or done something. Because I remember the first memory I have of this is in I think it was 1st or 3rd grade, where we were like 3 friends that were all 3 friends. But, every once in a while, 2 of them would gang up on the other one.
Sure.
I don't know if that ever happened with you.
Still happens.
But they literally one time ganged up on me and said, we're not going to be your friend ever again or talk to you ever again. And so then I went home and I gave them all my makeup, my necklace, like a necklace and all this stuff. And I gave it to them and I said, please be my friend. And then they would. And until they did that again. And then I'd give them stuff. They manipulated me.
Oh my.
My poor.
Oh my word. That's awful. Little kids are evil.
Yeah. So I think that's when I became a people pleaser because I was like, oh, I have to give.
I did not know that.
Receive love. Yep. That was a young.
Yep. Is that all the questions you got?
No, I have one more.
Okay.
Well, this one's kind of, sorry for whoever said this, but this one's kind of stupid. Do you have any book recommendations?
I don't read.
Okay, I do, so I can give you some.
Okay.
So we'll start self-help. Self-help book. I'm reading the High Five Habit right now. It's actually really interesting. Any Brene Brown book. But one that I really liked is Daring Greatly, especially during this time because it talks a lot about division and like disagreeing with people and stuff, but like a way to just be like kind no matter what. And I really liked that. Atomic Habits is super good. Oh, hey, if you want to implement behavior change in relationships, read Atomic Habits because it's like how you can change your behavior basically. So read that. I read fiction books. I read It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. That was really good. Anything by Lisa Scottoline, if you like thriller type books. And Kristen Hanna is a really good author too. Okay.
Oh, I have one.
Okay.
Whitney Cummings, I Am Fine. She's my hero. I really like, these are called autobiographies, right? I like those. Like, I love like Amy Poehler's and Melissa Rycroft for our Bachelor people. Hers is really good because it talks about the whole Justin Mesnick season with her. So I actually really enjoy these, and I still like, I have Michelle Obama ones and stuff like that.
I've started the Hannah Brown one, and I know you have.
I have it. Yeah, I just haven't. I don't know. I would love to get back into reading it because I remember really loving it growing up, and I was a reader for a while. But I don't know. It just seems like so boring whenever I think about it.
Do you want to know how many books I read in the new year?
How many?
For 20 days, I've read 6 books.
Are you serious?
I go take a bath. I can read a book in probably like...
I'm a pretty fast reader too.
5 hours, 4 hours. Yeah, I know. I think that's how I can stay into it. Because if I was a slow reader, I think it might be harder for me. Because I just want to I want to know what's going to happen. So I just read so fast.
Did anyone else, when they got CDs back in the day, used to immediately take out like the paper inside and like sing to all the lyrics written down on them? That I have...
Hilary Duff.
Me and Avril.
All of Hilary Duff's
Have you seen about this We Were Young tour that's freaking out on social media right now?
No,
it has
what?
Paramore. It's almost like, crap, what were those 2 punk tours? I went to one.
What is that called?
Warped Tour.
Yeah, Warped Tour.
Yeah, it's like kind of like that vibe. I can't think of anyone other than Paramore, but like that whole vibe and kind of...
Is it Avril Lavigne?
Avril Lavigne, yes. I want to go. Even Katie Thurston Instagram story about it. Everyone's freaking out. You should look at it because I'm actually interested.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. That's fun.
Yep. And then I think we just got some questions for the boys, right?
Yep. So let's bring on the men.
Man, bye. Okay, we have our husbands here. The husbands of Stop Wearing My Clothes podcast, Jared and Marcus.
Yep.
I'm stopping for a round of applause for when everyone's listening.
Hey, from us too.
They're clapping for themselves. So for all of our relationship advice episodes, we want to have a man advice section because we're 2 lovely ladies, but we can't have the same experience as a man with their penis. So it influences a lot of their decisions, but we'll see what they come up with today. I've got a couple of relationship advice questions that I found on Reddit because we already went through all of ours when me and Amy answered. You just listen to it. Okay, so I got one. Are you guys ready?
Okay, how's it going?
This is the title. She canceled our date because of my zodiac sign. I'm a bit thrown off by this, but I was canceled on due to my zodiac sign. Throughout the week before work, I visit a coffee shop. I go practically every weekday, and I've been seeing the same barista there every morning. We seem to click well with our small conversations, and after chatting with her for a few weeks, I decided to offer my number since she was on the clock. She declined to take my number, but gave me her Snapchat. We chatted a bit on Snapchat and agreed to go on a date Friday. About an hour after that, she said she wouldn't be able to go out with me because she saw on my Snap profile that I was an Aries. She said she doesn't date Aries, but it was nice meeting me. Is this something that is common in the dating world? I've never been rejected over my zodiac sign before, so it kind of surprised me.
Oh, yeah, I have a first thing to say. When Aries, which is funny, is whenever I see any like comparison studies or anything about Aries, they almost never include Aries, which I think is funny why like they just never include them. And so like I think Aries will be like more data influenced in their decisions. And so often I feel like Aries don't actually look at zodiac signs.
So Marcus is an Aries.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That wasn't
clear.
That's
the background. Yeah. So I'm an Aries, and so I never look at zodiac signs. So like I think specifically from a perspective of an Aries, we wouldn't often look at that. I mean, I don't know.
Aries aren't necessarily zodiac people.
but they're like always never included in like, any other like zodiac things. Whenever I read like quizzes or people's discussions, they're just never, Aries never brings up anything.
Have you ever been broken up with because of your zodiac sign?
No, I haven't. I don't know anything about zodiac signs.
Do you know what your zodiac sign is? You're a Gemini too, right?
I'm a Cancer? No, Gemini.
Gemini.
See, I don't even know.
We're both crazy.
Gemini's be crazy, but that's also, I think, my moon or rising. I don't remember. But so I've got the Gemini in me.
Well, I don't know. This poor person that didn't end up going on a date just because of their zodiac sign, I don't know. That's hard. I don't know how common that is.
They missed out on a Marcus.
Yeah.
If
So really, they're losing
I said no to
out.
a date with him just because he was Aries,
I
10-year
think-
relationship, poof.
I think like Pisces and Aries, from what we've read, has like not been
It's not
common. Like they say you struggle, and we're like, wow, we should have thought about that. We should have went on our first date, you know.
Instead, what I read is if you do end up together, the thing that normally does it is someone like me, kind of a dreamer, they call me, is attracted to like someone more stable. And so he's kind of.
So maybe this guy needs to say, well, what sign are you? Like, and then convince her.
There you go.
Yeah, I think even maybe doing one of those zodiac compatibility quizzes or something, because there are studies about that. Or just as Kayla mentioned, her rising, her moon. There's different signs you have, so maybe compatibility would come from different signs. If you learn more about the detail of what you are.
I've really roped him in. I'm really into horoscope stuff. Like,
Yeah, that's been a big discussion. I feel like all the time.
Well, I think that's good advice for whoever this is. Don't give up. You get back in there. Go back to that coffee shop. Order that same coffee and ask her out again. Okay. Do some research.
Right.
Try to find a quiz that works in your favor, so that this person will realize that Aries is not someone to stray from.
Oh, what I was saying is I bet that she has dated an Aries in the past and just has a bad taste in her mouth. That, to me, could be the only reason for that.
yeah, that can make sense.
I think my advice would be you're an Aries, collect data and present it. You know, that's kind of what you're for. So that's how you're going to convince her.
Yep, use it to your strong suit. You got it.
Look
And
out.
let us know. Let us know how it goes.
All right, case solved. Moving on. Title. He told me he loved me already. So I met this guy on Tinder. Red flag right there. We've been chatting for a week and decided to meet up. The date went well. We ate dinner, watched a movie. So far, I haven't sensed any red flags. I did. A day after, he surprised me and brought me coffee because I told him I'm work from home. After 2 days, we met again and the date went well. The next day, we met after work and it was nice. He texted me and told me he loved me already. I told him it's too soon to say something like that, but he said he really fell for me. He's a nice guy based on the times he spent together, but we're totally opposite, almost nothing in common. I like being with him, but him telling me he loves me feels off to me. I don't know what to do. Any advice?
Well, that turned. Yeah, I agree. That's too soon to tell someone that you love them. I mean, that's quicker turnaround than The Bachelor.
Bring it
I would
back.
say-
I like it.
If you went on 2 dates and then you were told that the person loves you and then you decided that you're not really getting along that well, you need to be honest. You need to tell them that, hey,
so far away.
it's not working out.
Yeah. Well, how long did you guys take till you said I love you?
Well,
We're a bad example. Here's what I say about that. If she felt the same way, it wouldn't be weird. So I think it's obvious that she just isn't into it.
After 2 days, I wouldn't love anyone, even if I don't care who it was. Robert Downey Jr. I would still.
Right, that's who you choose?
That's what came to my
Oh,
mind.
okay.
Iron Man's kind of hot.
So you don't believe
Hey.
He's a bad boy. He used to do drugs and stuff.
you don't believe in like love at first sight?
No, I don't believe in love at first sight.
Maybe I do.
You?
No.
The Mr.
I mean,
Aries
that's what I-
analytical. You
I
gotta do the data.
This is-
Wait, can we go on a side note? Let's tell a story of how we first told each other we loved each other.
Okay, you want to throw out Kayla? Go ahead.
We met in September, and it was a group of 4, so we were all friends, 2 guys, 2 girls, best friends, hung out every single day. And then we got around Thanksgiving, so it was like late November into December, and Amy and I decided, like, oh, we really like each other. This is more than friends.
I sent him a picture of my before and after stomach of Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get them. That's how you get them.
Leggings on, and the shirt was up so you could see I'm sorry. Mom and Dad. You don't need to know
not my
this.
boobs. Not my boobs.
No, it was
It was
pretty,
harmless.
it was G-rated, right? What's
Maybe
after
PG,
G?
but not PG-13.
Yeah. Anyway, so then it's December, and we officially started dating, and we were in Amy's room. She was getting ready to go on a trip, and I was scratching her back, and I wrote on her back, I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U, and I didn't say a word as I did it, but she turned around and she was, you love me?
How
I kind of wrote it
know
to see
this
if you
story?
figure it out.
Well, I haven't.
I don't know this
I
story.
don't know. That's a really good
That's
story.
Cute.
And then as soon as she questioned me, like, do you mean that? I was like, yeah, I do actually. I kind of wrote it for fun, but yeah, now I really feel it.
It was 1
So
month.
that's how it happened.
It was probably 2 weeks of dating.
Yeah. But
I
we've
think
known
like-
each other for at
Hanging out
least.
since
Tell them our
September.
I
story.
think the friendship though makes a difference.
Yeah,
Like that
for sure.
time of
Yeah, it
friendship.
does.
So like for us too, I feel like when we started dating, it was kind of like we hit the ground running almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you've already
Exactly.
established so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it,
Mm-hmm.
ladies and
How
gentlemen.
long it
Friends
took?
first.
From us
For
to
a
dating.
Pisces and an Aries to say I love you to each other.
Oh, like 3 years, right?
Year? How long was it?
A whole year.
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
exactly.
I think we're
That's
also like,
crazy.
I don't know, we're also young too. We didn't
Yeah, we
know.
were like 18 and
Yeah.
we had never really had a real boyfriend or girlfriend. We were each other's first boyfriend girlfriend, as vomit as that is.
Yeah, I think
that's
that like
awesome.
somebody that might say they love them quickly either doesn't know or really does know what love is. I feel like one or the other.
I agree
Mhm.
with that.
Yeah.
So he either has dated a lot and knows what he wants, or
Mhm.
he's a young, hopeless romantic
Yeah.
who doesn't have a lot going on up here.
So I think that you need to assess that first, figure out if they're like a hopeless romantic or if they like know if they legitimately love that person.
I asked him this before, and 6 months is when I started to get up the nerve to say it. I'm the one who said it first, obviously. But it took me 6 months 4 months I felt it. 6 months I
Yeah.
decided I was going to say it, and then it took me another 6 months to actually say it.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When did you
Totally
love me?
different.
I think like so it was early, it was probably even before then, I feel like, but around the same time. But just like I just didn't know what it meant. You know, I didn't understand
That's understandable, I feel
what
like. I feel like we're very realistic, even like with having kids. Like, I feel like just kind of people just throw their sperm everywhere. But
no.
but we like, I feel like we think too much into having kids sometimes. Or, I mean, not too much, but the appropriate amount compared to, I feel like, maybe what some people like,
Mhm.
oh, let's have kids because that's just part of what society tells you to do. But us, it's just like, okay, but then what about this? And what about this? And then what
Mhm.
if this happens? I don't know. I feel like we appropriately think things. So, like, love, kids,
Hmm.
like, we really...
I think we wouldn't
Wanna
get
be
anywhere
sure.
unless you had some kind of impulsive side. Otherwise, we wouldn't get anywhere.
We would still be dating. We would still not have said I love you. It would have been 10 years of this really weird thing.
Well, I want to say that even though you're the impulsive one and I'm not, how did we move in together? Was me.
Oh,
True.
So, I
He
think
moved
that you-
away, so he gave me no option.
nice.
Yeah, I guess.
So basically, you just took all the credit away from him.
Okay, let's see what else we've got.
I'll
Okay.
also say if that chick said that they had nothing in common, so I think that's the issue more than the fact that he said, I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, title. Is this a red flag?
Is that part of the story?
I have really bad allergies, guys. Okay. So I was out with my coworkers from work. They're all males, and so am I. And I go super and I got, I think they meant to say I got super shit-faced. I apparently called my girlfriend from outside a strip club. Don't know what I said, but my mates had my back, talked to her, and told her that they would take care of me, and hung up. Anyways, the next day, once I started feeling better, no reply from her. I texted her at 2 a.m. saying sorry for making her worried. I'm home and safe now, won't happen again. Texted her on Insta, and messages didn't reply to her either. And instead, she did reply and said, I asked if I could pick her up from work at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So when I went to pick her up, she didn't even bring it up. How I was feeling or if I was hungover, nothing. No mention of last night. Red flag.
Oh.
I love boys now.
I think it can be. I think we have our share of like just communication stuff. It just depends on whether she can communicate and like they open that communication or not eventually.
I think she's secretly plotting her revenge.
That's what I'd be afraid
of. Women know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Or that she was wanting to hold that against him forever.
That too.
Whenever she wanted.
That too. Oh, he lied to me once in our entire 10 years of our relationship, and I bring it up every time I'm mad at him.
I think that's bad too. Is I always forget all those things. I never remember any reason why I'm mad at you, and then like later I just forget about it, so I can never bring it up again.
I remember everything. I'm like an elephant in that way.
Yeah. I don't think that's a red flag, but I think that whoever this is should be proactive on their end and bring forward that conversation, especially if they're coming to this podcast to get some answers. Keep that in your relationship. You need to go to her to figure out what she's feeling. Don't just assume that she's either not mad or is mad. Go figure it out.
He knows if I'm quiet, trouble's a brewing. Right?
Yeah.
That's most likely the case.
That's how I communicate is by not.
And then we get like, then we start getting a text discussion later.
we only talk about serious stuff over text.
Wow. I think eventually it builds up though. We talk about it in person.
Yeah, but then we don't look at each other as we talk.
Yeah.
Well, you don't look at him because then you'll cry.
Yeah,
I cry when
can
I'm
look at you
sad and angry. And I don't know. And then I get pissed when I'm angry and cry because it makes me feel weak. But then I'm like, no, I'm pissed. But it's just the way my body reacts. Or sometimes I'm just sad. Like the last time we had it, I was just sad. I don't know. When we get in a fight, it's like literally like, oh, are we like breaking up? Or like literally nothing at all. We go to 0 to 100. I think anytime we have issues.
Yeah.
Even though we don't ever actually break up, but I
think because the little things are the
we just have things build up.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing that we learned, and once we stopped doing that, it's been so much better. So.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, because that just didn't work for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it would like once it got to 100 and it felt like we were gonna break up. It was like
I slapped him in the face.
It was like
really?
Yeah. I still regret it. I shouldn't have done that. I know that, but I got so mad and he didn't care, and I was like,
yeah.
the rain.
So funny.
Well, yeah, we've done some crazy stuff.
He hit. This actually sounds like a bad, but it's kind of funny. I was pregnant.
Yeah.
No, I was pregnant.
Okay, you go.
Oh, okay. I was pregnant. He was at the bar with his friends. I was home alone, and I don't like being home alone because I get scared. So I said, you can go. Well, first he said he wasn't going to go out to begin with, but then his friends were there, and he's like, oh, now I am. I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I said, please come home in the next hour because I'm scared. And he didn't have a key, so I had to leave the door unlocked. So I texted him. I said, I'm going to lock the door. And he was like, he wasn't responding to me. Next thing I know, he shows
Jared
up.
have kids? Or not kids. He has one kid.
Jeez,
Sorry. Keys. I meant keys.
Oh, it was because we were driving my car, so I dropped him off there. And so,
okay.
because it was just in town. Anyways, next thing I know, he's coming to the house, taking the keys, and he's going to leave me again. And I'm afraid someone's going to freaking kidnap me or sneak into my house and attack.
Sure.
So I got mad and I said, we already talked about this. Can you please stay home? And then he was like, and he's all drunk, didn't want to do it. And so then I slapped him.
She then not like just slapped me. She hit me hard, and it fired me up. And so I decided I was going to leave anyway. So I left, and then on the way out, she ran into our room. I was outside of our house at like 10 o'clock at night, banging on the window because I was so mad. Just to freak her out, just to be that.
Oh my
mean.
God!
And then I ran back downtown to the bar.
And I had angry pregnancy hormones too, so I think that's the only reason why.
I never heard
It was
the
bad.
story.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Especially, I don't know why it keep reminds me of like when Nick did that to you guys, right? When he like scared you guys.
Enough where my husband knows of how much that ruined
Traumatized you.
You remember when Nick went outside our shared room and would like do shadows and pretend to be spiders and make all these noises, and then me and you would be bawling, and then Mom would get so mad.
So
I must have blocked that out. I think that must be my trauma and why I'm afraid.
yeah, it's all Nick's fault.
It's Nick Caravalos.
Well, Mom got him back for us. I guess my mom apparently now hits people in her sleep and she punched him in the eye.
Yeah, it's all payback. It all comes full circle now.
Let's see if I have anything else.
Well, did we finish that question?
No, I don't know. Is it a red flag?
That was a red flag. Okay. So, to summarize, I don't think so. I don't think that's necessarily a red flag.
No,
but
I think she's processing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, if it's a newer relationship, maybe she just wants to let it go. Maybe she's actually not that mad. She's like, you're stupid, whatever.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about how we both feel about strip clubs or no?
I don't care. I will.
Okay. How Amy feels about Jared going to strip club and how I feel about Marcus going to strip club. Go.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Hell no, boy.
Yep.
I just think, why? What is the purpose of looking at another naked human when you have the most perfect one right in your house?
Bam. There it is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
As long as I'm there with him. No, I don't care. I did care when he had his like bachelor party because I was young and didn't really know, but I don't know. I just feel like, what do I feel like? Do you want to help me out?
I don't know. We won't be like controlling over that part, or
Yeah, I don't know. If
or not jealous
it'll get
as
him all
much.
jazzed up to come home to me and rock my world.
Okay, so can he get a lap dance?
Yes.
Can he go into a private room with just him and her alone?
Yes.
Wow.
He just has to.
There's video evidence now that you said that.
That is hilarious.
Just the lying or the omitting truth is what I have problems with. As long as we're open and he tells me in detail what happens, I consider it foreplay. Or if he lies, then that's where the problem is.
Yeah, and this might even lead into our next episode of our relationship podcast about marriage and stuff, because I think that our different views on that directly affects the way we feel about this.
I agree. So plug in for our next relationship episode about marriage. Woohoo! I think we're done.
Hold on, I want to say something though. What? If that girl didn't even know he was going to be at the strip club and all that, then that is a red flag for her to him.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions there. I need to know details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, we hope you enjoyed. Say
Man Vice.
Perfect. Okay, so just make sure you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok mostly, because that's where we're posting every single day. And then also make sure you leave a review on Apple Podcast. So we're going to be talking about marriage this next Sunday. That we have every other Sunday we have our relationship episodes, and then every Wednesday we have bachelor episodes. And then we have also decided we're going to start trying to go. We did live for our very first episode back. We're going to try to do live more. Maybe not for an episode, but just to talk to you guys and connect. And
we have some really fun TikToks talking to all about the different bachelor couples and things that we like.
Yes, we're excited. For the next episode, I asked a bunch of people what marriage meant to them. So we're going to be sharing that. So if you want to be part of that conversation, make sure to email us at stopwearingmyclothespodcast@gmail.com, or just any basic relationship advice. We will answer everything because we don't get a lot of emails. So we'll respond.
Why do you always say that? You make it sound so uncool. You got to make it sound like we're flooded, man.
No, we want people to think that they're like our number one fan. Like, we don't have a lot of fans out. So if you are a fan, you're cool. You're one of the first. And this is going to become really like a movement.
Now you're going to be officially a communicator.
Yes.
That's what our fans are.
Let's do it. It's all about communication. Let's leave it there. Have a great day and